Great morning, Caroline.
Superb morning. And it's 11:11. Can you imagine?
It's the
I
time
think
for beginning.
this was the whole point for us
Yeah,
to start
we have
at
to synchronize to
11:11.
universal time.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
I am having presence, uh, love, and challenges
Mm-hmm.
and existence. And you?
Hmm. I am breathing. I'm breathing to stay alive. And I'm also allowing, surrendering, relaxing, flowing. Yeah. And with that, I'm just becoming more and more aware of how and where I'm resisting the flow of life
Yeah.
or myself, because I guess that's it.
How are you
Yeah,
feeling?
I feel really good actually.
Yeah.
I feel good, but I'm also feeling there's a sense of I don't know how to describe this, but I'm feeling like I have excess energy that hasn't really integrated in me. So I'm feeling a
Yeah.
bit, it's like I'm vibrating on the outside, on the outskirts of my
Yeah.
energy field. I feel like, yeah, there's some excessive energy. So I'm kind of feeling a bit restless, a bit not balanced, but not in a bad way per se.
We can send it over
To where? To who?
to me. If you got more, I'm willing. I receive.
You
I'm
received
open.
more.
Yeah.
I don't know how to send it.
Why don't you touch your laptop and I'll touch mine?
Oh, interesting. Okay, receive then. I guess it's what they call the overflow.
How's it on your end now?
Okay,
It's like balanced, yeah?
kinda.
Interesting. Experimentations continue.
Exactly. How are you feeling this morning? Like right now, not even this morning, right now.
I'm feeling some fear
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just it. Um, it's like another round of the cycle, but each cycle is getting less. The first round was sheer terror,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's just like a gentle ripple of anxiety
Mm. There's an
with the same
experiment I
dynamic.
usually do.
Yeah,
Maybe I can invite you to do that experiment.
yeah.
So when you're connecting with how you feel, there is that first part that you just said that I feel fear, anxiety, that. And then the second part is now connect with how you're feeling with imagine that you don't know what it is. You don't have the words for it. You don't know you don't have a story around it. It's like you've just walked into this body and you found it feeling the way it's feeling. How would you how would you express that? How would you express what you're feeling?
I'm just experiencing what I'm experiencing.
Mm-hmm. And what is your
It's
yeah?
there's like a sensation in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sharp.
Mm-hmm.
It's not dull.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sinking feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some thoughts, not again. It's-
Mm-hmm. Imagine
yeah.
that you have no clue what that
And
thought
as I'm,
means. Like you're totally new in your body.
and it dissolved, but now it's come back again.
Mm-hmm. So the next step of the
Is that
experiment
what it?
is, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
totally accurate. The
That's
next
right.
step,
Okay.
that's right. So the next step
Yeah.
of the
Okay.
experiment is that you did not have awareness of whether some are good and some are bad, and you're just there experiencing it without that awareness of whether it's good or bad. How would that be?
But it feels bad. It doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel enjoyable. Sorry. Excuse me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So I want you to get past that awareness. It's like because we are doing an experiment. Just imagine that you had no clue of what good or bad is.
Okay, understood.
How would you experience that?
Yeah.
What you're
So
experiencing
that
now?
bad is a label.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I'm just experiencing a sensation, actually.
yeah. Would you be willing with that experience of like you don't know what it is, you have no story, there's no label of good or bad or judgment. Would you do you feel like you would ride that experience? Do you feel like you would surrender to that experience?
I'm kind of being with it because it's
Mm-hmm.
sort of flowing. I'm
Yes,
kind of flowing with it.
yes.
Parallel,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a distance between me and the feeling.
Mm. Because you're not the feeling. That's why.
Yeah, yeah,
So the more you remove the stories, the judgments, the labels, the more the distance is created and the more you are able to be an observer.
mm,
And consequently, the less you suffer. Because the suffering comes from attachment. And the attachment is brought about by making the meanings out of what is happening. Because it takes you
yeah.
away from the experience. You're meant to ride with it, flow with it. But then when you start labeling and judging, you start creating resistance. And that resistance is what causes the suffering, not the sensation itself.
I can notice now how mind is trying to insert itself into the process. Okay,
Exactly.
what I do about it, and why is it here again, and blah 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 blah. Interesting.
Yes,
That's
yes.
made that made that dynamic clearer as well. How mind is getting involved is
Mm.
clearer after this exercise.
Yeah, because that's the hardest part. The hardest part is not even to observe the sensation. The hardest part is to observe the mind because the mind is the one that's sneaky, trying to make you
Yeah,
think that that's you. So in fact, the whole process is not for you to observe the sensations, it's for you to observe the mind and what it's doing to trick you into attachment.
yeah, and also to enter into that cycle of thinking,
Yes,
commentary, analysis,
exactly.
understanding, problem solving, blah blah
Mm.
blah.
To reinforce an identity that is not you.
Yeah, and it seems to reinforce a slavery as well.
Exactly. That's the prison guard that keeps you in.
Thank you. So I'm just going to be with the feeling and allow it to be the way it is. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
As we continue. Well,
Awesome. Yeah.
how
So
have
what
you
you
been? How is your life these days, Caroline?
my life these days is there a word that can
Last time, uh, if it's relevant at all,
mm-hmm.
the dynamic that I heard was you wake up, it's today is a new life, today.
Yes.
And you just be with what's there,
Mm-hmm.
and when it turns into peace. That's what I heard was happening. Is
Yes.
that a fair sum?
Yeah, that's actually what's been happening. I just didn't know what word to use.
Mm.
And it's also been just noticing how I am doing life. It's like every day I wake up and I'm told, okay, just look at how you're responding or reacting or cooperating with life. And I get to see different ways in which I'm doing that. Yeah.
So is every day awesome and different? Is that what you're saying?
Every day is different. Every day is, and I've been doing a lot of shadow work. So every day is like I'm faced with something that is a reflection of my resistance. So I have to look at it and see it and let the resistance go. So, and I've not been leaving the house, surprisingly. It's like everything I plan doesn't go through. It's like somehow I just find myself in the house. Yeah.
It's like you're in an enforced quote, quote, retreat.
Hmm.
Interesting.
It's like a retreat that I must be at, but I did not decide to be at consciously. But now I'm beginning to allow myself to be in this retreat.
So you mentioned that the first thing you notice is resistance. Is that
Yeah.
what you said?
Yeah.
And what is it you're resisting, if you can share?
Yeah. In fact, yesterday I was journaling and I was just journaling because I was like, what is going on? I just wanted to explore what's going on inside of me because of how I was feeling. And at the very end of my journaling, which was interrupted by some friends who called me, was that I came to the realization that I have been resisting my own energy, like my soul essence. And it takes a lot of energy to resist yourself. So it's kind of like, and it's not even like on a large scale, it's like even the small things. Like in this very minute, I feel like I want to go and get a glass of water, but then I hold myself back. I tell myself, no, finish this first. And that incrementally becomes a huge lump of energy of resistance. Do you get me?
Yeah, it's like it builds up,
Yes,
it
it builds
accumulates.
up. It accumulates because it's like I'm tying my energy back. It's like I'm holding aspects of myself back, and I need a lot of energy to keep them back. And I realize that's what is causing me to feel fatigued, to feel low and down, to feel unclear. Yeah. So I discovered that yesterday, actually.
May I invite you to go and get a glass of water?
Not now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you said you're resisting yourself.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like, how do I put it? I don't know if you have experienced your essence, like who you are, like at the core. I don't know if you've had a glimpse of that.
Can you share what it occurs to you as
Yours or mine?
yours?
It's kind of hard to describe because it's like a flavor. You know, like the way if you were to try and explain how an orange flavor tastes, it's kind of hard, like, but
Yeah.
you know it, but it's like there's no enough vocabulary to piece together some, because it's not a picture, it's an experience, it's a taste. So it's the same thing that your soul essence is. It's like a flavor. You have to experience it or a bit of it to know that this is me. This is really me when I'm in my full expression in the moment. So it's like now resisting myself is holding that back because of something the mind is telling me. It's not the right time, it's not the right place, or, what will people say? What will it give me? You know? And it just happens in the daily things. Like, as I'm saying, small, small things like, okay, let me get up and go do some laundry. But then I'm like, no, let me just do it later, you know? So the accumulation of that is that you start to feel a certain type of way that is not positive. It's like the feeling you get when you betray yourself or when someone betrays you, it starts to creep up on you. So that's been my experience. And so when I woke up today, I was like, I'm going to just be. I'm not gonna let my mind come in and stop me. So I woke up and the first thing was just, I feel like going to brush my teeth. And I did. Before, I would be like, no, let me do this first. My morning routine is supposed to be this. So today I just let myself be. And I feel like that is the true definition of freedom. Just allowing yourself to flow and to be present in the moment and to be truly authentic in the moment, even if you're alone in the room. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. And this essence, this flavor, is it a unique flavor to Caroline, or is it like a universal
It's a
essence or
unique,
flavor?
it's a unique
Yeah.
flavor.
Hmm.
It's a unique flavor. And I read somewhere, was it reading or it's a video that I saw about how we when we hold that aspects of ourselves back, we don't release our full energy within our bodies, and so we never achieve our purpose. Because that flavor that you are is an aspect of the divine. And so when you allow it to fully, fully be embodied, then that's when you'll be like at your highest point in terms of your service to humanity, your service to self, abundance, joy, fulfillment. So the only reason why we are not fully lit, if I may put it like that, is because we ourselves keep holding back aspects of ourselves in this daily mundane life. Because I'm realizing even people who are like blowing up and being like thought leaders and being like shining out in the world and just sharing themselves, I'm realizing it's because they have suddenly come to the fullness of themselves, of who they are. But sometimes we think it's, oh, they got the right business idea, or they did the right marketing strategy, or they got money and they could pay for ads. Like that's how we think that is how it happens. But when I've been looking at it, I'm like, no, they embodied more and more of themselves, like of their true essence. So now it's like the universe was showing me how it happens on a daily.